Hi, my name's Kerry. I'm one of the counsellors here at MS UK, and in today's vlog I'm going to talk to you about managing negative thoughts. So our thoughts are our interpretations of the world, so they really help us make sense of what's going on for us. So they help us to understand things like what we see, what we hear, kind of events and situations that we find ourselves in. We have thousands upon thousands of thoughts every single day, and most of those thoughts that we have are quite automatic. So if you think about brushing our teeth, we don't generally tend to think too much about that, we just do it. So the fact that our thoughts are or can be so automatic and so habitual can be both helpful and not helpful. So if you think about kind of all the thoughts that we have every single day, those thousands and thousands of thoughts, if we thought too much about those thoughts every single day, it would take up so much time, it would be quite a lot of hard work. But the unhelpful side of our thoughts being so habitual and so automatic means that we generally tend to believe them and we don't stop to question them, even maybe when that thought isn't true or it's only partially true. So negative thoughts are negative interpretations of things that are happening to us. So they can be quite unhelpful. They can be quite harmful. They can make us feel quite low about ourselves. Might make us feel depressed. Might make us feel anxious. And negative thoughts, we can't stop them. We all have them. So it's not about stopping them. It's about finding a way to manage them. So if we think about the weather, if it's snowing, I'm not going to try and stop the snow. That would be silly. It's impossible to stop the snow. But what I might do is find, a hat and a scarf and some gloves out and a warm coat and some snow boots. So actually what I'm doing is managing the weather, not trying to change it or not trying to stop the snow. So we know that kind of thoughts affect our feelings. So if we are thinking, I can't cope with this, it's too much, I'm scared, I'll never ever be able to get through this, that might make us feel quite anxious and quite frightened. If we're thinking, actually, this is unfair, I shouldn't be feeling this like this shouldn't be happening to me, it's really unfair that I've ended up in this situation, might make us feel quite angry or frustrated. And thoughts like, actually, this is really hopeless, I'm useless, I'm worthless, things aren't going to get any better, I'm never going to feel better than this, might make us feel quite low and perhaps quite depressed. So it's not necessarily about changing what's happening to us, it's about managing our thoughts around it. So the first way we can start to do this, the first thing we can start to do in managing our negative thoughts is to start to notice them. So start to really pay attention to what we're thinking. And when we notice the negative thoughts, we can almost we can start to catch them, and then we can start to challenge them or question them or ignore them. So once we realise that kind of we're doing negative thoughts or we're negative thinking, we might ask ourselves questions like, actually, is this true? Would I talk to a friend like this? What advice would I give to a friend? Usually we're really good at offering friends, really helpful advice or suggestions, or kind of really offering them our empathy and our understanding, but we're not so good at doing that ourselves. We might ask ourselves, is this thought, fact, or an opinion? Or we might ask ourselves, well, what is the truth? What might be a more helpful way of thinking about this? And I suppose the big takeaway is to kind of remind yourself, just like the phrase, don't believe everything you read in the papers, don't believe everything you think in your head. Just because we think it doesn't mean that it's true. It's just our way of trying to interpret what we see around us. But it doesn't mean that what we're thinking is accurate or the truth. When we start to challenge our negative thoughts, when we stop to question them or ignore them, actually we can start to feel a little bit happier, we can start to feel more accepting of our situation, and life can feel a lot easier if we're not constantly thinking negatively. So the first step is noticing the thoughts. Things like mindfulness can be really helpful in doing that, and so can counselling. Remember, takeaway, don't believe everything you think. Thank you. Thanks for listening.